Skinhead Gourmet, and since it's the beginning of autumn, I want to do one of my favorite fall recipes, stewed apples. Bring a whole lot of flavors of the season that are great, quick and easy to make, and always popular. Stick around, it's the Skinhead Gourmet. Started. The first place we're going to want to go is get us an apple and a knife. We're going to want to cut these guys into slices. The easiest way to start is you want to quarter it, knock out your cores, and just give it nice little thin slices along the body of the apple. So you've got them looking like this, and if you've got a bunch to slice, the best thing you can do, get a bowl of water to keep them in. Move them around every once in a while. Keep them from getting soft and brown while you're cutting up your apples. Because then once they're done here, you can drain them real quick and we can throw them into the pan and get them cooking. Alright, so now that we've got our apples cut, we're going to start by getting a pan right onto a stove. We're going to get some heat to that. And we're going to start by adding approximately 2 tablespoons of butter right into that pan right there. We're also going to I'm going to use about a 2 count or a half a shot of, I prefer any kind of dark rum or a spiced rum, but usually all rums will work. What you're going for is that nice rich sugary flavor you're going to get from it. And we're going to let those guys go and heat up for a little bit. One important thing is, if you want to use rum in this recipe, get it in early so that way you can actually cook off a little bit of the alcohol and just retain the flavor. Of course, you can always add some later if you want more alcohol in your dish, but for our purposes now, that's going to be the way to go. Okay, now that we've got our butter and our rum cooking a little bit, we're going to take some of our apples out of our bowl of water. We're just going to get the water off of them and right into the pan. Once we get them in there, we're going to want to start stirring them around and making sure that that butter gets on all the apples, so we can start by working towards a nice unified flavor right from the get-go. Also, we can break apart our apples to make sure that everybody gets cooked nice and evenly, because when this is done, you're going to want them all to be nice and soft, and they're going to shrink a little bit. We're also going to take some brown sugar, and pretty much you just want to lightly cover the top of your apples. So it's hard to usually give an exact amount, but just enough to cover however big of a pan you've got full of apples. And we're just going to let these guys sit until the butter starts to kind of caramelize a little and start melting down. Alright, now you can see that the sugar's starting to melt down a little bit. So we're going to grab ourselves a spoon and start stirring this up, making sure that it gets spread all throughout the mixture. You can also see that that butter has turned into total liquid at this point. So now that we've gone and given our apples a nice toss, we're going to re-sugar them. And again, we just want to kind of coat the top. And this time we're going to take a little bit of honey and just give it a quick squeeze. All we're really doing to add this, we're not really using the honey so much for sweetness. It'll help, but we've got a lot going on. What it's going to do is just add another little dimension of flavor to it. As well as that, we're going to start adding a little bit of our spices at this point. We're going to want to use a little bit of, just a quick dash of nutmeg, maybe 2 or 3 quick shakes with the bottle, and then a healthy amount of cinnamon. I'd say add to taste. For me, this is kind of what makes this a recipe that's perfect for the autumn. It just makes me think of hay rides and haunted houses and warm apple cider and all those wonderful things that make this the best part of the year. So we're going to let these guys sit for a little bit and we'll pick it up in a moment. Alright, so you let your apples sit for a little bit. One thing you're going to want to do while they're cooking is just keep making sure that you're stirring them. And if you can let them sit for a while on like a low heat and just give them a stir. You just don't want to scorch your sugar. The longer you let them sit, the softer they're going to get and the more flavors it's going to seep through. One great thing you can do with this recipe is you can chop these apples up into smaller pieces, and they're great on French toast, waffles, or on top of an ice cream sundae. But if you keep them big like this, they're wonderful as a side dish for all sorts of autumn meals, be it something nice and hearty like a chicken and dumplings or a turkey dinner. This makes for a wonderful side dish that just kind of makes you feel warm. It's a little bit sweet. It's a wonderful counterpoint to all sort of savory dishes. And it just tastes almost like candy. Plus, you're eating apples. That's supposed to be good for you, right? Well, hope you have fun doing it. Good luck and enjoy. Boy.